Alright, so let's take a look at the wiring behind this computer. So I'm just gonna at first I'm just gonna kind of go through just piece by piece what the different parts are so you can see where they connect. Back here we have the RAM for the picture that stores the picture. This is my personal RAM design. I tried everything here. I tried to do my design uh, just because I like the challenge. I know there are more compact RAM designs. Mine is fits in a every other block this way, but for every 3 blocks this way. But it actually works out really well because it feeds into these buses evenly and allows me to hook in some other ROM into the sides here. Notice how this space right here is actually completely unnecessary. I could theoretically just kind of shift all of this over to fill these gaps. I just made it kind of big at first because I didn't know how many spaces I was going to be filling up. So that takes us to the next part right here, which is just input busing, but it also allows these parts for the calculator displays to come in here and hook up to the next part, which is right here. This is kind of de-spacing. This is the opposite of spacing. This is kind of just squishing it in to this very much smaller, more compact area in a way that it can hook up directly to the piston display, which you can see is controlled here. Each pixel has 4 pistons. So it's a 256 pixel display, but it's 4 times that in the amount of pistons that actually make it up. So I'll just show you briefly how the RAM is controlled. You see the first part's pretty simple, just inputs which ones to write. This is just 16. They directly come down here. You see I use instant wire here where I could. I try to use instant wire everywhere as much as I could, but the computer is still pretty slow. My second computer will definitely be faster than this. But you see this hooks up just directly right into this right here. The RAM right here. This is controlling which is active at which time. And so let's go ahead and show you where the RAM controllers go. These are which control which row to write to. They're fed right here down directly into a binary encoder, and they lead down through here in the orange wire, and they lead right into a binary decoder right here, and then travel up along here, and it decides which right line to hit. So there's one right line, and there's another, and there's another, and I've staggered them a specific way so they don't cross lines. So before I show the CPU that controls the calculator and all the other aspects of this, I'm going to show you the direct controls for the calculator values and answers, as well as the displays for those values and answers. So before I go into the pink wire here and the light blue wire over here, I'm just going to show you where these come down. So you can see that from the blue line we have it directly comes down and splits off here, and it's hard to see right here, but it's actually a mini binary encoder right here. You can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in binary if you're familiar with it, and that feeds into the binary adder. This is the one thing that the design I didn't come up with. This design was inspired by Asotonic's design. I'm going to go ahead and link his channel in the description. He's an amazing redstoner, makes amazing creations. You guys have to check him out. I really love that guy. A lot of my stuff is inspired by what he does. So, and then the red line comes down here, and we have another binary encoder right here. And this also hooks into this binary adder. So those binary outputs come down here through these buses, and they come into this giant binary decoder right here, which comes all the way through here. If I was doing answers that came out like 20 something, I would have created an algorithm that monitored the tens digits of the display and answers, but because it was only in the teens the answers were able to come to, because it was adding numbers 1 through 9, I decided to just make a direct decoder. So now let's talk a little bit about the displays. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the calculator displays. You can see they come directly from the inputs, and they come over for the first value, and they come into this encoder. Now this, because it's a 15 pixel for each numerical value, this is 15 bits of information here, and it encodes for each value essentially just which ones, which pixels to activate, and so it'll display the correct number. And the same thing's happening over here. A similar thing is happening for the answer. You can see this right here, but there's an extra line right here, and this feeds right over here to this creates the extra 1 if the answer is equal to or above 10. Now the last thing that I'm going to show is the main other displays, which are right here. We have the thing that controls whether the RAM is showing or not. This controls the display for the up menu, so this is when the cursor is up. This is when the cursor is down on the menu, hovering over add. And this controls the main calculator, which is the plus sign, the line underneath it, and the equal sign. Now, and this is isolators. This is another design I made. This isolates the pulses so that there's only one that's able to be going at a time. But these are all next to each other, and these are all main instructions, which takes us back to the instruction CPU. Now this is my personal design. It's pretty compact, as you can see. It's a pretty small CPU. It's pretty basic. I've done much more intense ones, but I haven't applied them in the same way. It was more just for the purpose of designing this. This one is a 6-bit instruction CPU. So essentially, the inputs come through here, and then based on what they're supposed to do, they change the state of any given thing, whichever instructions they make, into this little RAM unit. It's an RS-NOR array with an immediate reset to inscription, so it's essentially RAM, but not exactly. And then that line then carries back over here, and then disables other lines that are now invalid. So it creates an instruction system, and in this case I made it create a 2-layer menu system with appropriate reactions. In the past I've done like 11-bit 3-menu layered instruction CPUs, but I didn't really need that for this computer. Thank you so much for watching my video. I'm going to be making a lot more videos like this of creations I've already made and are currently in development. So make sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this.